Each of us knows that life won't last forever, yet most of us live as if it does. We distract ourselves, chasing the illusion of permanence, carefully avoiding reminders that everything we love, everything we build, is fleeting. The ancient Romans captured this truth in a simple phrase, Memento Mori, remember that you will die. They understood a profound truth. Confronting our mortality doesn't diminish us, it empowers us to truly live. This truth is so foundational to humanity that it has produced religions, shifted cultures, and changed the course of history. What if confronting the reality of our mortality unlocks a life filled with greater courage, deeper meaning, and genuine authenticity? Recognizing life's limits might be the key to a richer, more fulfilling existence, because the truth we avoid the most is exactly the one we most need to face. Born a prince, Siddhartha was sheltered from all forms of suffering. But one day he stepped beyond the palace walls and encountered an elderly man, frail and bent with age, a sick man openly suffering, and finally, a lifeless body carried solemnly through the streets. In that moment, Siddhartha's world shattered. He realized he too would grow old, become ill, and ultimately die. This stark reality tore away every illusion he had ever known. Yet instead of despair, Siddhartha found clarity, and through this clarity, enlightenment. The Buddha's lesson is powerful. Facing the truth of our mortality can grant us profound wisdom and inner peace. King Gilgamesh was powerful and seemingly unstoppable until death took his closest friend. Overwhelmed by grief, he desperately pursued immortality. But despite his greatest efforts, eternal life remained forever out of reach. Through his trials and failures, Gilgamesh discovered something unexpected, that life's meaning arises precisely from its limits. Death wasn't his enemy, it was a teacher, showing him how to cherish every moment. Gilgamesh's story reminds us that embracing mortality with humility can lead to a life filled with greater joy, gratitude, and true appreciation. King Solomon had unmatched wealth, wisdom, and power, yet when he looked deeply into the meaning of life, he found emptiness. Vanity, he wrote, everything is vanity. Every human accomplishment eventually fades. But Solomon's insight wasn't about hopelessness, it was clarity. By understanding life's temporary nature, we strip away superficial distractions and uncover what truly matters. Solomon's wisdom urges us to live authentically and with purpose, instead of chasing meaningless pursuits. On the battlefield facing death, the warrior Arjuna froze, overwhelmed by doubt, hesitant to confront his own mortality. Krishna challenged him directly. Death was inevitable, but courage and integrity were choices. Krishna taught Arjuna that confronting death isn't a sign of weakness, it's a source of strength, clarity, and the courage needed to fulfill one's deepest responsibilities. Arjuna chose to fight, not because death had no meaning, but because accepting it gave his life purpose and moral courage. His lesson is clear. Embracing mortality empowers us to live courageously, dutifully, and with true purpose. Throughout history, the phoenix has symbolized one of life's deepest truths, renewal through endings. After living a long life, the phoenix bursts into flames and crumbles to ashes. Yet from these ashes it rises again, stronger and more beautiful. Its story reminds us that death isn't merely destruction, but a doorway to transformation and rebirth. By embracing endings, we gain resilience, understanding, and every conclusion carries the potential for new growth and greater strength. These stories reveal a universal truth. Death isn't life's greatest tragedy, it's life's greatest teacher. Avoiding the reality of mortality means missing out on living deeply. But facing it directly brings wisdom, gratitude, authenticity, courage, and resilience. In ancient Athens, the philosopher Socrates stood accused of corrupting the youth and defying tradition, not for committing any real crime, but simply because he challenged people's comfortable illusions. Facing execution, Socrates' friends pleaded with him to compromise, escape, and live out his days quietly. Socrates refused. Because Socrates had fully embraced his mortality, he knew death was inevitable, but sacrificing authenticity out of fear was unacceptable. On his final day, Socrates calmly drank the poison, surrounded by grieving friends. In those last moments, he embodied the deepest truths of the ancient world. Like Buddha, he faced death without illusions, finding profound inner peace. Like Gilgamesh, he understood that life's beauty is inseparable from its limits. Like Solomon, he chose truth and authenticity over the safety of empty comfort. Like Arjuna, he met his fate courageously, fulfilling his duty without hesitation. And like the phoenix, Socrates saw death as a transformation, his passing forever renewing humanity's wisdom and courage. Socrates didn't just teach philosophy, he lived it, courageously embracing a powerful death. Death isn't something to fear or run from, but something to openly accept. In facing mortality, we gain the clarity and courage to truly live. The story of Socrates challenges us all to confront the same truth he fully embraced. Facing our mortality with clarity isn't tragic, it's liberating. It doesn't take away from life, it gives life meaning. When we bring together the wisdom from the Buddha, Gilgamesh, Solomon, Arjuna, and the Phoenix, and we see them embodied fully in the courage of Socrates, a profound insight emerges clearly. Life and death are not opposites, they're deeply intertwined, each giving meaning and significance to the other. Avoiding the truth of our mortality doesn't protect us, it numbs us, silently robbing our lives of depth, courage, authenticity, and purpose. When we hide from death, we also hide from life. Yet each of these ancient stories teaches a powerful and undeniable lesson. The Buddha faced impermanence openly and discovered clarity, peace, and spiritual freedom. Gilgamesh learned through grief that life's true beauty arises only when we accept its temporary nature. Solomon stripped away illusions, clearly seeing that meaningful life can only begin once we openly acknowledge its limits. Krishna guided Arjuna to confront mortality directly, revealing how facing death empowers genuine courage, moral strength, and true purpose. The Phoenix reminds us that every ending carries with it the seeds of renewal, resilience, and rebirth, and Socrates lived these truths himself, demonstrating through his courage that embracing mortality doesn't diminish us, it liberates us. Death seen clearly is not tragedy. It may be the greatest teacher you'll ever encounter. By accepting it fully, you gain the freedom to live your most courageous, meaningful, and authentic life. Facing our mortality openly can seem intimidating, but like all profound truths, it becomes deeply empowering once we engage with it directly. To transform this wisdom into practical, everyday action, consider these powerful spiritual practices: acceptance, courage, and presence. Acceptance is honestly acknowledging your mortality instead of running from it. It's not passive resignation, it's an act of courage. Buddha faced impermanence, Gilgamesh learned humility, and Solomon recognized the fleeting nature of life. When we accept this truth, we let go of fear, find clarity, and begin to deeply appreciate life's true value. Acceptance frees us from illusion and grants us inner peace. Courage is deeper than bravery or boldness. It's the willingness to face life exactly as it is, even when it's painful or uncertain. It's Arjuna accepting his duty on the battlefield, guided by Krishna, aware of his own mortality but still moving forward. It's Socrates calmly choosing truth and integrity, even at the cost of his own life. Courage isn't an absence of fear, it's choosing to live honestly and authentically despite it. Courage transforms everyday choices into meaningful moments, empowering us to live intentionally, fully, and without regret. Presence isn't just about savoring moments, it's about fully inhabiting your life as it unfolds. It's the art of genuinely connecting with what's happening right now, free from distraction, regret, or anticipation. Presence means engaging deeply, aware that this moment, exactly as it is, will never come again. Like the phoenix rising from the ashes, presence accepts that everything is temporary, yet sees profound beauty in that truth. It transforms the ordinary into something extraordinary, not by changing the moment, but by changing how you experience it. Together, acceptance, courage, and presence form a powerful pathway to spiritual clarity. Acceptance allows you to see reality as it truly is, freeing you from illusion. Courage empowers you to move beyond fear, guiding you toward choices that reflect who you truly are and the life you genuinely want to live. Presence grounds you in the moment, strengthening your connection to life, others, and your true self. By adopting these practices, you'll transform your relationship with mortality, and in doing so, unlock the courage, meaning, and presence that make life genuinely worth living. Throughout history, humanity has grappled with a profound paradox. Acknowledging the reality of death doesn't diminish the value of life, it amplifies the meaning of every single moment. Deep down, we all sense the truth that our lives are temporary. Upon reflection, this realization resonates within us, yet most of us push it aside, rarely acknowledging it consciously until it's nearly too late. Although facing this reality can feel unsettling at first, embracing it openly holds transformative power. When we remember our time here is truly limited, we don't loosen our grasp on life, instead our grip tightens. Awareness of our own impermanence brings clarity, authenticity, and purpose into focus. Our decisions become more courageous, our connections grow deeper, and our joys become richer, precisely because we understand how precious and fleeting every moment really is. Memento Mori was never intended as a threat or warning. Rather, it has always been an invitation, an encouragement to live fully, consciously, and intentionally. The greatest tragedy isn't that our lives will inevitably end, but rather that many of us never truly begin living. We spend our lives avoiding the very truth we most urgently need to confront. Yet hidden within this unsettling awareness lies our greatest opportunity. By courageously facing what we fear, we can finally discover who we truly are and unlock the extraordinary potential of who we can become. Your life is temporary, and that is precisely why it matters so deeply. Memento Mori, remember that you must die, and may this awareness grant you the courage, clarity, and freedom to live fully and fearlessly.